Good morning. Today we're examining the Artemis II mission and its vital role in America's deep space strategy.
Welcome to your Stylo News Intelligence Update.
In the next few minutes, our goal is to bring you up to speed on the events and the key players that are shaping the space domain right now. Let's begin. This intelligence update is made possible by ProWave AI. They're the developers behind the Stylo Intel Ops Intelligence program and its commercial version, Stylo News.
So to start, we really need to set the stage. You see, space isn't an empty frontier anymore. It's become a very active and, frankly, contested operational domain.
So what does that competitive environment actually look like on a practical level? Well, the picture that emerges is one of a handful of key players, all with rapidly expanding capabilities.
This map really gives us a clear global view. On the left, you can see the primary launch sites for the United States, and on the right, the key sites for both China and Russia. It quickly highlights where the power to get into orbit is concentrated across the globe.
But you know, this competition is about so much more than just launching rockets. Intelligence assessments consistently identify China and Russia as the principal threats to U.S. and allied space operations. This includes things like developing anti-satellite weapons, also known as ASATs. These are essentially missiles designed to destroy satellites in orbit. It's a truly disruptive capability, one that could threaten everything from GPS to our global communications. We're also seeing incredibly sophisticated maneuvers on orbit with technologies that have dual-use relevance, meaning they can be used for both peaceful and military applications.
And it's precisely against this competitive backdrop that America's return to the moon takes on a whole new layer of significance. And that brings us directly to the Artemis II mission. Now, to really appreciate the gravity of this moment, just consider this number. It has been over 50 years, more than half a century, since the Apollo 17 crew, the last time human beings traveled to the moon. Artemis II is the mission that finally ends that long pause. The Artemis program itself is a very deliberate step-by-step plan. It all kicked off back in 2022 with the successful uncrewed flight of Artemis I. Right now, in April 2026, we have Artemis II, the first crewed mission to fly by the moon since the Apollo days. And all of this is building toward the target for 2027, Artemis III, which is the mission planned to put astronauts back on the lunar surface.
And what's crucial to understand here is that this isn't just a NASA show. It's a unified strategy, but with different stakeholders bringing their own aligned perspectives. For NASA, it's all about execution, establishing a sustainable human presence on the moon to prepare for Mars, and they're operating with zero tolerance for delays. Then you have the commercial partners, providing the actual hardware, the rockets and spacecraft, driven by both business opportunities and national objectives. And of course, international partners are collaborating on missions and hardware, seeing this as a new chapter for joint scientific discovery.
The strategic stakes of this new era were really put into sharp focus over this past week. It presented a stark contrast, a story of both triumph and challenge in this modern space race.
So get this. On the very same day that NASA's Artemis II mission had its successful launch, one of China's key commercial competitors, Space Pioneer, experienced a major setback. The first flight of their reusable rocket, the Tianlong 3, which was designed to compete directly with SpaceX's Falcon 9, it failed. This contrast really underscores the immense technical hurdles of spaceflight, and it highlights the different trajectories the US and Chinese programs are on at this exact moment.
And speaking of the U.S. commercial sector, its momentum is, well, it's simply staggering. Consider SpaceX alone, with a targeted valuation of over $2 trillion. A number like that isn't just about one company. It really represents a powerful American advantage, a dynamic, well-funded commercial industry that can push national strategic goals forward in a way that state-run programs often struggle to match.
That commercial momentum is a huge factor in everything that comes next. So with all of this activity going on, what are the key developments that you should be monitoring on the horizon?
Here are 3 key events to keep an eye on. First and foremost, the conclusion of the Artemis II mission. The safe return and recovery of that crew is the ultimate marker of success for this phase. Second, the next orbital test flight of SpaceX's Starship. That's the vehicle NASA is banking on for future lunar landings. And third, watch for the uncrewed lander demonstrations from commercial partners. These are, for all intents and purposes, the dress rehearsals for putting astronauts back on the moon with Artemis III.
Now, this has been a high-level briefing. For a much deeper analysis of these events and what they mean strategically, we have the full intelligence update ready for you.
Understanding these developments gives you a critical edge in seeing where the future is headed. And a final thought as we close.
In an increasingly complex world, it seems truer than ever that to understand the future, one must indeed watch the stars. The events unfolding in space today will absolutely define the strategic landscape of tomorrow.
You can listen to our full analysis on your favorite channel or just follow the link included with this post.
Thank you for joining us. For more AI-powered news on demand, you can subscribe to Stylo News at www.stylonews.com.